Good morning, Mayape Abak. Just for a change, we're inside the greenhouse. Here's the plan. Still at the moment, only 2 painters on site, but they're going to be getting to grips again with the gym and spa. Tiling in living room, dining room, dirty kitchen. Ceiling in the master bedroom, no, bathroom. And still some work being done on the wash basin cabinets, the wabakers, in a couple of the rooms, I think. Bit more site cleanup. Not sure what else. What could possibly go wrong? Once again, we will start in the dining room, where I've gone from annoyed to resigned to, well, come on, let's get on with it. Which I suppose is probably still resigned. But we're going to get more tiling in here. We've got Frederick is going to be working in this area. I'm not sure who else. Looks like Elson's going to be helping out. And I think Don Don's working next door. He is. Don Don getting to work in the living room. So we'll obviously see a fair bit more tiling in both rooms today. In the dirty kitchen, Mr. Rene and Carlito is helping out. Oh, and they're just checking again to make sure everything is flat. And Mr. Rene's happy with what they've got so far. In the gym and spa, Erwin, with an H, like herbs, is skim coating up on the ceiling. And take a dizzy pill. Mr. Willie is also skim coating, but this time not with a paintbrush. So he's doing all the corner bits with that flat implement, whose name I have absolutely no idea what it is. This is Aldrian's bathroom. Singing Rico. Still not heard him singing yet this morning, but he's making sure he's got the levels all right for the wabaka in here. Inside the master bathroom, Richard, once again, putting in more metal for the ceiling. He's all by himself at the moment. Not sure if he's getting help from anybody else. Outside the front of the house, Oliver sifting sand. Erwin and Elson prepping the dry pack for the floor tiles. It's a beautiful morning. We're just going to show a few shots of around the property, starting inevitably, I guess, with the pool. It is probably the standout feature, but we'll go and have a look at some other bits and pieces. This is just outside the front gate, so we're looking back over most of the property, really. Koidong continued his attack on the grass, and he's cut almost all of it now. There was yesterday and again this morning quite a bit of cleanup going on at the front of the house. In fact, that's what the rarely seen working little blue diggerator was being used for, was just to shift rubbish mostly. This is moving towards the back end of the property. So the White House, still not covered, still working on that. Followed by, over there, the compost shed. And over on this side, bit of covering for the vehicles and the basketball court, which is currently being used to dry out grass, turning it into, is it hay or straw? I can never remember. And here's the fish pond, which is actually moderately well stocked with water and now getting very quickly overgrown. I'm not sure if that is kangkong, edible vegetable, or whether that's just a weed. I'm not certain about that, but that's growing really quickly. This, by the way, is really for Thomas Dalton, who put in a request, could we show a little bit more at this end? So there's the fish pond, and then round to the rooster area where son Alex has got goodness knows how many roosters and a few chickens in this area. At some point quite soon we do need to think of a way of enclosing these cockerels and chickens to keep dogs from, well, basically tearing them to pieces. One of the security dogs in particular seems to have acquired a bit of a taste for chicken. So we need to try to protect them and keep the dogs elsewhere. But that's pretty much the whole property. It's just after lunch and I was just asking Oliver what was going on with the platform here. It's hard to believe, but they're having to reassemble it because the diggerator is once again in need of repair. Let's go and see inside what's been going on. This is the living room, and Don Don and Erwin have got quite a big area covered now, extending underneath the stairs. Still nothing around any of the edges yet, but that seems to be always the way they work, kind of center outwards. In the dining room, Frederick's just preparing to get another one ready to put right in the corner. But they have now finished all the way over to the far corner there and nearly over to this side. There is still a little bit more to be done down where I'm standing, but that's or at least 75% of this floor covered now. Mr. Rene and Carlito in the dirty kitchen, working now towards the outside edge. Mr. Rene's got a big smile on his face today because it's payday, he's just reminded me. They're a happy bunch today. But yeah, really good progress inside the dirty kitchen. Almost coming out to all the edges. Not quite yet. Inside the gym, Mr. Willie, paint roller in hand, skim coating the ceiling again. I don't know whether this is second coat, I'm guessing it is. I can just see, yeah, it's definitely only number 2 because there's still some very light patches down the centre. And further away in the spa area, Owen, also skim coating. Once again with a little, I don't know what that implement is called. Somebody help me out. What do you call these things? We're back in the master bathroom. Not only is the frame all in, the Hardy Flex panels are in and covering probably a little bit more than half the ceiling already. So Richard and Original Rico are not hanging around. Sing and Rico still working on the outside edge now of the Wabaca in Aldrian's room, having already poured the base. He says, I'm not going to go in there and disturb him, but he says it's not quite finished with the plastering on the outside edge yet. In Jack's bedroom, we do have our third painter, and he's actually painting. So right now, he's painting these edges and effectively creating samples to see whether we are happy with the appearance. So we'll have to let all this dry. The lower edge level, I'll try and get a bit closer. Apparently that's pretty close to the final colour, as opposed to the kind of more yellow appearance up there. So we'll let all this dry and set and then see what we think.
This is one of the 4 of the most recent additions to our little menagerie. And this one seems to be the boldest of the 4, and I can't keep up. No names, and I guess we won't be keeping them. Well, I'm sure we won't be keeping them, but cute at the moment.
It's just after 4 o'clock. The guys are still actually just finishing up. We feel like we're moments away from a major downpour, but we'll see what's been going on. Rich Warden has added to the sandpapering discussion in a slightly different way. He made a comment to say his dad was addicted to sandpapering. He said it helped to take the edge off. And what did the dog say when it sat on sandpaper? Rough, rough. Oh my goodness. Anyway, in here, I think we have got quite a bit more skim coat, in some cases at least second coat. I'm not sure if any of this is now up to a third. I suspect not yet. Tiling in the dirty kitchen. It looks like it's done. There don't seem to be any gaps, even just around the corner. I can't step on this just yet. Or at least I don't think I can step on this just yet. But from where I'm standing, no gaps. Tile's finished. And I do like the look. And this will be kind of matched with some fairly dark grey cabinets, which will be the same in both kitchens. In the dining room, we've now got all of the floor tiled with the exception of this area down where I'm standing and along this edge. All the rest of it is done. And now it's all in. How do I feel about non-matching patterns? Well, actually, they've managed to get quite a good amount of matching going on. It is by no means perfect, but they have found a way of getting certain parts of it to flow. I think it does look nice. And a couple of people have said as well that by the time you get everything in, including furniture, probably it won't be noticeable that it doesn't all match up. I think that's highly likely to be true. In the living room, also, we've got quite a big area now covered. Not quite as much as the dining room, but a lot of it is now in place. Tilers have had was it J.M. Farrell, I think, has coined the phrase tilicious. I think it was a tilicious day. These are again the edges that have been painted. I'm not sure if this is quite what the finished look will be, but what is clear from the earlier clip is that that yellow does dissipate to some extent and we end up with some of the wood pattern coming through. It's almost as if it's been varnished, but with a coloured varnish. In Aldrian's bathroom, the end is finished, as is the bottom, on this Wabaca. In the master bathroom, a little bit more of the Hardiflex is in, still all around the edges, not done yet, but everything in the centre is all in place. May not be fully secured yet, no, it looks like it's not, but it's all in, except those edge pieces. That's it, the end of the day, the end of the work week. Once again, the guys have not stayed behind for a drink. I wonder whether maybe they were concerned about the weather, because it does look really quite black in parts at the moment. But a week of initial kind of annoyance, frustration with tiles, but I really have pretty much come around now. Well, I don't have a choice. So we are making a lot of progress now with floor tiling outside of bathrooms. And the first room outside a bathroom that's finished is that dirty kitchen floor, which I do think looks nice, and is a non-slip, relatively non-stick slip tile. The bathroom in the master suite is coming along nicely. We'll have a full ceiling pretty early next week, and probably early next week we can get on with working on the cabinets in the walk-in closet in that room, and maybe in other areas. Still haven't quite finalised a couple of bits about that with the builder, but we have a discussion with him on Monday morning. That's it. I can't think of anything else today that was noteworthy. So we'll leave it there and come back Monday morning our time. See you then.